Welcome back to Knack, ladies and gentlemen.
So let's see.
Anyway,
In the last
Sleeping Giants. Sleeping Giants, yeah.
in the last part, we managed to make the Eye of Sauron boring.
Ooh, spooky music.
Well, it's like that's right. Hey, Webbs, since you're probably the one that knows most of it. In terms of Eye of Sauron ripoffs, how bad is this particular one?
Compare this to Transformers Prime, which has the Eye of Unicron, which is
Well,
really
to be
creepy.
fair, when it comes to Eye of Sauron ripoffs, Metroid Other M has a literal one in Phantom's direct eye.
True. Yeah.
So yeah, props to Knack for doing something better than a Metroid game.
Knack, Sony does, well, Nintendo.
Yeah.
There you go, Reggie. While you were busy making Splatoon, Mark Sony was making history.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're very Sony guys. Get it, Sony? Sorry.
Anyway, more pets and weird robot things.
Oh my god.
It feels weird. You're
It
this
just made me
big.
realize something.
What?
It just made me realize something, though. Maybe what Sony should do is make a little campaign of Mark Cerny literally going on screen going, "We're Sony." So...
Sony.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. The Video Game Awards of 2017 are coming up. So
and Knack
Guess
is not
what?
nominated for... And Knack
Yep.
2 is not nominated for any of them.
Yep. Nope. Not nominated at all. So I have to wonder. So bets on what might be announced because at the Game Awards of all places, stuff occasionally gets announced.
Hold on, cutscene.
Oh.
Sorta.
Oh, again with the island.
We're dealing with this again?
Wait, weren't we supposed to be away from it? Like, wasn't
No,
it supposed to be closer before?
Yeah.
I don't know, Teo. I honestly don't know because the game doesn't do a good enough job of making it clear exactly where I am and where I'm even going.
It's kind of like Eternal Sonata. The geography is all over the place.
So
it
Mark
feels
certainly
like-
can't tell left from right.
My guess is, Teo, Mark really wanted a ruins level, but he didn't really know how to put it in the story. So let's just have Victor randomly shoot Knack for no reason, just so we have an excuse to dump him in here.
Yeah, but the problem is we were
that
getting
alone
close.
wouldn't be a problem on itself. The problem is the inconsistencies in this very level on its own. The fact that 1 minute the eye is very close and the second is way far. Also jumping, there you go, this is a platforming.
And we're done.
Holy shit.
Don't worry, Teo. The sequel will include a lot more platforming.
I wouldn't doubt that.
You know,
The sequel is going to be so dang awesome, guys. I know that, normally you play a first game to get the feel of the series, but no. The sequel is where you truly get the feel of the series.
You know what said, Jova? And I hate to say this, for as bad as it is, for as mediocre as it is, sorry, the level design in Knack 2 is still has more substance than the level design in Sonic Forces.
Yeah,
Debatable. Very, very debatable.
Well, is it? Well,
Well, there's more platforming in Knack.
Really? I thought there was more platforming in Sonic Forces.
Well,
But we'll get to
is
it.
Knack 2 less automated? From what I heard.
Yes, Knack 2 is not. Aside from those God of War sequences, it's not really automated at all.
The cutscene
Okay.
platforming.
No, Jova. Well,
No, actually, Jova, we essentially
granted,
included
it's not-
QTEs.
Granted, it's not the most memorable game, but I've played for the entire Knack 2, and aside from the God of War QTE sequences, there was no. The platforming is much less automated. They took the components to heart, like we talked about before.
Yeah, good for them. But you know what? Fair enough. The platforming is by no means nowhere near as fun as it is in Sonic Forces, but
don't get me
I
wrong.
guess yes.
I'm not
fair
saying
enough.
Knack 2 is a good game. And to be fair, even though I find Knack 2 to be technically a better game, I still prefer Forces because Forces is at the very least less bland.
I wouldn't even call Knack 2 a technically better game because honestly, okay, yes, I'll concede its platforming has less automation. That still doesn't make its platforming really anything to compare to the actual platformers.
And honestly,
Okay, can anyone do a good Sauron impression?
I see you.
He doesn't even.
not like
cutscene.
one line.
There was supposed to be a cutscene in Return of the King when he assumes he's not Valor, basically elvish kind of like form, but they removed it.
Sauron.
I'm sorry to
he
say,
was-
Tail, but this thing will never be explained, even in the sequel.
You know, I kind of...
Actually, it's kind. Oh, you mean this? I was referring to Sauron. It's actually
No,
kind of
this
explained
thing
in.
here. I
Sorry.
mean, next, I'll have Sauron.
Oh, we can compare him red.
Alright, okay.
Is red bad? Twibs. Is red bad?
Yes, but anyway, as I was trying to say, stop me if you've heard this before. A game that has a lot of hype behind it ends up being bland and boring.
Okay,
And it has a
so
sequel,
Order.
and has a sequel that is better. Wherever
Oh,
where
Watch
have you heard that
Dogs.
before?
Watch Dogs.
surprisingly enough, Ubisoft seemed to have a trend with it, although Haze didn't got a sequel because
So does this mean?
last map.
So does this mean that Watch Dogs 3 is gonna be a downgrade from 2?
Yeah. If the Ubisoft
I mean,
pattern
it-
is
it-
anything
I
to
mean-
go
I mean-
by, well, regarding Assassin's
Going
Creed.
by the Ubisoft pattern, then yeah.
So wait, we just came that way only to have to come back when he activates his lasers.
Yeah.
Don't you just love it here when the game wastes your time?
Like, seriously. I'm pretty sure that in the last part, we were literally this close up to the eye. And
This,
I feel like we're doing this again.
It's
I
we're literally running in circles.
but Tail, don't you see?
Also, they literally wasted a cutscene to have our protagonist ask. They literally wasted a cutscene to have our protagonist ask if red is bad.
Jova, Mark has a very specific vision. Just
Oh,
let
well,
him go.
I've got to fulfill, damn it. What do you mean it's end up damaging my reputation? I want to do it.
Not once, but twice, as it seems.
Fortunately, hopefully now that Knack 2 is selling like absolute garbage, hopefully Mark will get the hint this time and just...
And Japan Studio will actually come back to actually do more stuff on its either on
So,
its own or
Or at the very least, get Santa Monica to do it. They would, God knows, they would do a better job than Japan Studio. Why was Japan Studio even chosen to begin with?
okay. So, Pedro, you want to talk about something that's actually comparable to Knack 2? What if
Sure, go ahead.
What if the new Bubsy game sells better?
No.
Nah, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I'm gonna have to go with what Joe was saying. Bubsy has the advantage of being a product,
fucking meme,
a fucking meme that a lot of new younger gamers are probably curious about and stuff like that.
Not only that,
Whereas
but the
Knack
game
2
itself-
is just boring and nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
Bubsy.
Not only that, I mean, Bubsy actually has more of an audience than Knack. Like,
Knack 2 has the advantage of donkey memes, but that can only carry you so far.
whereas
Yeah.
with Bubsy was a platformer that, well, was considered to
My meme's
possibly.
better than yours are.
It's like-
my meme's better than yours.
Not just
are.
that, even in the early days of the internet, people already were stating about the Bubsy 3D as one of the worst games ever released. So
Yeah. By
So
the
it's
way,
not like
I
the new
love.
Bubsy has there's a lot to
shoes to fill.
improve on, wasn't it?
That reminds me.
Yeah.
That reminds me. I love how TV Tropes addresses Bubsy the Woolly Strike Back as if it's a Karma Houdini warranty bout where the Woolies finally get their comeuppance for, being Karma Houdinis in Bubsy 3D. When the marketing for
Bubsy
Bubsy...
3D actually has a conclusion to its plot.
Well, the Woolies win either way.
I know where there's the starting plot, the starting cutscene, but I never knew someone actually finished the game.
There's a quote-unquote
Maybe,
good
maybe not
ending
a
and
shitty
bad
conclusion
ending.
to the plot.
There are actually two different endings. And guess what? One of them you have to play Collectathon to win.
Joyful.
Goody.
Oh, great. I guess what, guys? I'm not doing that.
Well, it doesn't really matter because, okay, the bad ending is that Bubsy can't get off his planet with his rocket and the Woolies win. The good ending, Bubsy, something happens with the rocket. I think
in prehistoric times.
Something bad happens to Bubsy with the rocket, and the Woolies still win and are free to do their plans.
And this is not addressed in the Woolly Strikes Back, I presume.
Well, remember how in the marketing Bubsy said that he's been waiting to settle the score since 1993? Yeah.
The Bubsy 2, I think.
Yeah, I know. They're trying to pretend.
3D was released in 1996 or 7 in Europe.
The marketing of Bubsy Woolly Strike Back is trying to pretend like Bubsy 3D never happened, and
so
yet
it's kind of like with Sonic Mania pretending Sonic 4 never happened.
And yet for some reason, TV
The
tropes.
difference is Mania's a good game.
And yet for some reason, TV trope seems to suggest that the story actually does address Bubsy 3D, which makes me
Jesus
wonder.
Christ,
Whoa!
I hate that thing.
Oh, that
thing
was
can hit me
ridiculous.
from such a far away. Seriously.
Also, that Stone Guardian is also very annoying because he puts his barrier like every 2 seconds.
Yeah, and
Barrier.
no, that's just a thing, Tale. Fighting the Guardians, and trust me, there's bigger Guardians later on. Fighting the Guardians amounts to this, Tale. Punch them once or twice, then go away so that they can do their barrier, then go, and then when they're done, go back and punch them twice, repeat until they die.
And now defeating them actually seals the eye away?
I don't know.
Alright, so
doesn't care.
are we done with the padding? Can we get back to the game?
Whoa!
And
Also,
there you go, Tail. Quite possibly the poorest excuse to draw it back to Baby Knack.
Can't we just talk this over?
I've seen Samus losing her powers because she was plunged into a wall. So.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When Samus loses her powers, normally that's just once to set up the game and you're getting more powerful. Here, it's powerful, weak, and by the way, he tried.
At least compared to the other times where you just need to power up a door, this seems more legit because those things sucked up the relic even before.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's technically more legit.
Oh no,
Oh,
Vargas
no,
and Lucas
so-
have been kidnapped.
Do we
And
care?
conveniently
Are we
to
supposed to
a
care?
castle.
I guess we
Pedro.
are. Chapter
Yeah.
6-1, rescue mission.
So,
Ugh.
okay. It's technically more legit here. The thing is that, yeah, okay, story-wise, it's technically more legit, but gameplay-wise, it's much more annoying. And again, if Knack can lose magnets that easily, why can't he just gain them back as easily?
Yeah.
Like, at least with Samus, you could maybe theorize that, her gear gets scattered all over, so that, and she obviously doesn't have the powers to just summon them, so it makes sense that we have to go around planets getting them. Knack, though, he's so OP that he shouldn't have too much of a problem. Well, he's OP the way the narrative writes him out to be. Gameplay-wise, he sucks.
Alright, moving on.
Ooh,
Construction
snowboarding
yard.
animation! By the way, I love how they tried to crack a joke with Knack, like how he talked to the orbs that were drawing the stuff out of him, saying, "Hey, can't we talk this over, guys?"
Yeah, that's just the thing. No, Mark has no concept of grasp of what witty dialogue even is. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, his dialogue amounts to nothing more than, alright,
What a 10-year-old thinks is cool.
let's get the cliche line book. Okay. Oh yeah, we can use this one.
Like, seriously, also, it's a bit contradictory to his character. Like, most of the game has been setting him up to be just this obedient robot of sorts who does whatever things people want.
Yeah,
Yet,
he has
when
no
he's on
character
his
whatsoever.
own, he can apparently think for himself and even crack witty jokes and puns. I mean, okay, he's technically been doing some of that, but it feels a
That's the-
little too...
Like
Weird.
Dark Lord Jordan once said in his review, the big problem here, our supposed main character barely even qualifies as a character.
And in order to make him a character, they have to break his character. Like,
Brilliant.
okay, you know what,
Give a round of applause, guys.
Like, as cliched as it is, if this were a story about Knack becoming more, like, human,
But
then...
Wibbs, you can play as Ice Snack.
Wow.
Oh...
Ice is nice.
Wait.
I'm not kidding, that's an actual line from the sequel. But basically the first...
Also,
What?
also, no game. Just no game. Your your supposedly unintentional throwback to Gladiators is not going to help me enjoy this game.
Huh.
And by the way, no, I'm not kidding. In the sequel, when you first get the Ice Knack form, Knack literally says, "Ice, knife." Ha 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 ha. It's funny.
Laugh.
That's Mark's writing. Like he has no concept of wit.
So, can I
Charm.
talk about something
Yep.
that bugs me in the background here?
Well, go ahead.
Those blue lit up crystals, they look like something you should be able to break or interact with. And you know, we have actually had segments in the game where you can break and interact with crystals like that, you know, similar to the Ice Net thing. Just,
Don't worry, Jova. We'll get that in the sequel.
it just,
Cerny.
Well, Java depends. That will be like going to a salt mine pretending those are diamonds.
but here's the thing though. Again, they're
Wait. So
what?
killing all the enemies somehow turns off the electric fence?
Of course.
I guess this is typical platformer logic, yeah, but still, I mean,
Make a
whatever.
reason for it. Like, whenever Sonic does it, they're robots, so it makes sense that they'd be tied to the gate, but these are humans.
Which teleports away instantly
It's a good-
because
it's a good-
we don't want to leave the body.
It's a good thing Victor's robots suck major ass.
Yeah. How humanity is still alive again?
I don't know. too.
Because of
No, no, no,
Victor,
no, no.
apparently. Actually, yeah, you know.
Don't worry,
Victor-
Teo. The
They're
game.
even
Don't
stupider.
worry, Teo. The sequel will try to come up with lore to explain it.
This is like the Donkey Kong cartoon. Everyone in this world is stupid.
Hey, speaking of
Again, Teo. Don't worry. Again, Teo. Don't worry. The sequel will come up with lore to try to explain it.
speaking,
Of course.
Honestly, Tio, from what I've seen of that show, the animation there is so bad I don't even notice the characterization.
what show?
Good for you, Donkey Kong Country.
Ah, that
cartoon.
show is
That
Marvel.
abomination of mankind.
Well, I find it a guilty pleasure.
You probably just like the songs.
I like the songs too, but
Yeah.
there are some legitimately funny
Oh, okay,
ones.
you can say that it's so horrible you can't look away from it once you stare into the abyss.
Fair
But
enough.
God.
I mean,
that-
don't get me wrong. Don't
is
get
that
me wrong.
part-
Don't get me wrong. I definitely do recognize that it's technically a bad thing, but it's so amazing how they took everything in that thing seriously. Like, and
Wow,
that's-
platforming. Sorry.
Huh.
Cutscene.
That has got to be one of the most
Maybe stay
generic
here
looking
while we
cell
sort
doors I've ever
things
seen.
out.
What's stopping that from
Well, they
breaking
don't
in
need
there?
to be
What's the
fancy, I
best
guess.
view in
No.
Castle.
What I mean is like, there's
really
no
so
security
predictable,
lasers or anything. Like, what?
Actually, why they don't
Yes,
they
you
just,
were,
you
Doctor.
know, break out
the
through the
truth.
glass?
It pains me. You have
I
all
mean,
that
some of them,
talent
one
and
of them
can't
must
find
have a rope.
anything to do with it with
George Keaton
projects
character
like
has that
management.
bionic grab thing.
Now, Victor, he has vision.
Victor has
You need to
vision.
watch and
I'm
learn.
going to have to disagree with you
World
there,
is about to
lady.
change,
How,
and
I'm
everyone
surprised he
changes.
can actually see, let alone have
The
intellectual
truth
vision.
is,
I
hope
refer
you
to
like this
my
one.
rant about
But
him
you're missing
earlier
a foot outside of it until you
for why he
rise
has
up
no
and start
vision.
working
If
quick
that
with
is
your
if
right
that's
focus.
vision, then ugh.
Hey, Pedro,
And
never mind
purpose.
intellectual vision. I
lost
bet he
the
doesn't even
story of
have
the commercial.
actual
I thought you
vision,
might
considering
like
how
that.
stupid he is.
Aw, that
Probably.
was nice of her. She gave him back his,
I'm sure this will no way, help our captives.
Actually want to.
Oh.
I guess that was nice of her that she gave back
Yeah,
his...
in a normal narrative, that would be like, the clue, the Chekhov's gun. that
That's
you
your
need.
problem right
Wow.
there, too. You're thinking of in terms of a normal narrative, but
But
this
that's
is
the problem. Supposedly, the story tries to go by the book with the cliche, but then there's stupid moments where you think something is happening, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's
thing,
the
too.
problem
Mark can
with
even
this...
get the cliches right.
Yeah, that's the problem with this narrative. It's like, well, it does
It's all
cliche...
over the place.
It does cliches up the wazoo, and yet, it's like, whenever those cliches would actually help, that's when it chooses not to do them.
Yeah.
That's some of the most backwards writing thinking I've ever seen before.
If there is indeed a Knack free, Mark, at the very least, get someone else to write it.
Hey Pedro, how much you wanna? Hey Pedro, how much you wanna bet he's gonna be there at PSX, PlayStation Experience? He's going
No, no, please, no.
You gotta
I
admit,
don't-
Pedro,
Nobody wants a Knack free.
You gotta
Give
admit,
up,
you gotta
Mark.
admit, Pedro, it's the kind of thing he would do. Like, wait till PlayStation
Besides,
Experience.
Oh, that's right.
Would.
What? Oh.
All right, and now, ladies and gentlemen, meet Woodknack.
So,
So you're probably wondering, what does Woodknack do?
So-
he's the exact same thing as Ice Snack. The difference is, he burns easily when fire is near. And guess what, Teo? This level is full of fire.
yes.
Oh,
Also, you may notice what did he smash to get those wood particles? Barrels. So you know what that means, guys. He can officially just smash anything, and as long as it's the right. Actually, the way those wood particles are shaped, they're not even shaped like the relicles. They're shaped more like cylinders. So, yeah, again, so now Knack can just smash any barrel and boom, he can become bigger. So I ask, what is stopping him from doing this with almost any element that isn't liquid-based?
Good
I don't know.
question.
So,
don't know,
so
Joe.
there you go, Tio. Our protagonist can literally just smash a batch of wood, and that's his power. And yet, he can only do it in certain sections of the game. Because, you know, it's not like wood is common here on good old planet Earth.
I mean, I can't understand.
Hell, this table I'm knocking on's made out of freaking wood.
I just don't get it. How do you make your character so OP and yet not do anything with it?
I honestly am.
Jeez. It's clear rules.
Well, Jover
But
is the thing.
it's okay, guys. It's okay. The sequel will improve everything.
Look, I get that sequels are supposed to improve stuff, but sequels shouldn't make it so that what should have been in the first
There we
game is
go.
there. And yes, now we're burning, which means we're losing health.
Yeah, basically, watch over.
Hey, Knack.
Yeah.
Maybe you might want to use some of that, those
Stop, drop, and
boulders.
roll.
Yeah, that too. Or maybe, you know, you might want to, I don't know, absorb something that's not as flammable.
Or you know, remove the blocks of it that are actually on fire, like you kind of do in the sequel.
It's funny you mentioned that, Tio. Okay. There's actually going to be a scene where he gets poisoned, and during the fight scene, he has to fight
don't
while
worry,
being...
Jova. We'll talk about that. Just save it for later.
Alright. Let's just say, Tio,
Anyway,
what's
yeah,
your...
forgot the rest of the level, Teo. We'll be constantly having our health drained. Doesn't that sound
Seriously,
fun?
there's no way for you to actually stop that.
Nope.
Usually they give you like two.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
see,
Wait,
he's
wait,
literally
wait,
getting wood
wait.
From the fireplace, even though it's already.
So, yeah.
I need to break my hat.
Isn't that nice, guys? Even if you somehow manage to not get hit by these guys, you'll actually automatically get wood from the fireplace, which means you'll be burning. Isn't that nice? A power-up that is pretty much guaranteed at some point in the game.
These power-ups suck ass.
Like,
Oh, go ahead.
I swear, the only way that these
And
things...
apparently some doors can be opened only by burning them. Good.
I swear, the only way that these could be considered power-ups is that they make you bigger and give you longer health bars. Otherwise, they're downgrades in a lot of cases.
It's okay, guys. I got another card.
A double battery.
Yes, you got one section of a special power-up. Now you just have to try and replay the level over and over again until it decides to give you the right set. It's like loot boxes minus the money paying.
Lottery, the game. Alright, that was a jump cut because I died, so I had to restart.
I wonder why you died
Sure.
since you know you're burning.
Pedro got so bored of the game he died, but he got there.
Yeah, I was playing the... yes, and then the newspapers say, Portuguese man dies while playing a video game.
Because he was that.
Clearly assigned.
And then Sony... And then the controversy, it's Sony so bad that they are forced to cancel Knack. So I...
Yeah, there you go.
and the gaming community will claim me as a sacrifice for the greater good.
No, more like the press will immediately say that video games leads to suicide or something, so bear the blame or something.
Doesn't it? Would even be a suicide? The game's so boring that it bored Pedro so much that his nervous system began shutting down.
Jeez.
Yes, my body started thinking that I was dead because my brain was getting to the point of complete numbness. So my body actually mistook the brain as dead, and so it just stopped working. That's what happened. My body literally thought it was dead, so it just decided to stop working.
You know, hey, game, you know how you showed us a cutscene of those two guys being locked away up in a tower that's clearly not in the mines? Maybe you should have waited for a part where we're actually in the inner house before showing a cutscene about up in the house, because, you know, now I'm kind of just wondering, so it's gonna take us a while to get there.
Pretty much.
You know, when, you know, Crash to Insanity, a game is, oh.
Well, I mean, Twin Sanity had its faults, but...
And that was a cutscene. You know,
Yeah, I mean-
you know, when Sonic Forces does cutscenes like this during gameplay, the stuff's happening. There's spectacle and stuff.
Yeah.
There's extra exciting stuff. You don't waste a cutscene on just going down an elevator.
Yeah, I mean,
But Jova, you can play as Woodknack. Woodknack, ladies and gentlemen.
But Jeff, what were you
Oh my God, platforming!
what
How
you're
much
about
would
to
the
say about
would?
What is it doing?
what you're about to
And
say
that's
about Twin Sanity was, I mean, yeah, I mean, I played Twin Sanity myself, and there were quite a few issues with that game, but at least it had a couple of funny bits.
Oh, no. Insanity is definitely a great game. I will admit there are problems with it because it got rushed to more, but that game is actually, I'd say, the definitive way of how to do Crash if Naughty Dog isn't involved. While also trying to do an open world sort of thing.
Or at the very least, do an original Crash game by Naughty
As you
Dog.
guys can probably see, you need to have it. You need to be burning in order to heat up that stove to light up up. So there you go, Theo. That's why we're always burning, because the level doesn't expect you to burn.
So they made it so that you have to be losing health in
This
order
is kind of like,
to proceed.
you know what is wrong?
And it magically put itself out for that cutscene
Yeah.
and come back on again.
You know what this reminds me, Pedro? That optional levels like the Fame Arch in Final Fantasy IV, where you're, unless you're constantly running on a kind of like of a vine field,
Yeah.
and that drains your health every single step.
Also, there was lag during that elevator cutscene. Why?
Don't worry,
Because
Down a lift!
don't worry, Jova. If you play the game on a PlayStation 4 Pro, the frame rate is higher.
by
Mark,
Yeah.
what happened to you, man? Just, what happened to you?
I don't know. Well, I can at least tell you this, Jova.
your
Thanks
fire
to,
contact.
well, okay. I can at least tell you this, Jova. Thanks to the frame rate cap that the sequel has, you can just cap the frame rate at 30, and it's a consistent 30, regardless of which console you're using.
Yeah, if only if I cared enough now concerning this game. Also, you know, I just realized something. The bad guys are shooting Knack with fire. You think they'd realize by now that giving Knack fire is helping him to proceed?
Somehow, fire is helping us, and yet at the same time it isn't.
What even is this place? Like a furnace?
Are we
I don't know,
still
too.
in
Apparently-
the mines versus the castle still?
We're supposedly inside his castle, but apparently his castle has furnaces. I don't understand
The
this.
basement. And the specific robots here shoots oil that can be lit up.
Which would kind of be bad if Knack steps on them when he's on fire.
Fire, fire, fire.
Fuck.
Eat up.
Flame on!
There we go.
Okay, will that please open the... Oh, I
Oh,
guess that didn't
you
open
try-
that.
Yeah, it's kind of like with the,
Thing,
it's kind of like at the Goblin Camp. You're supposed to basically do all of these things to. Also, we're burning again.
Yay.
Burn, burn,
Burn to the
ground. Oh
ground.
my god. You know
And I
it.
love how the game gave me all of that burning wood specifically so I could light that stove. Situation.
You know, okay, I'm
Well,
gonna go a
actually, guys,
step...
what you were saying about Cerny, I mean, considering how I mean, remember, Cerny was quite heavily involved in Crash Bash, and that game was kind of mediocre.
But he was also involved in the Naughty Dog trilogy, Liv.
To be fair, Crash Bash did its job as a hard game enough.
Mightily enjoyed for what it was worth.
Yeah, me too. I mean...
Also, I still want...
Oh, so now we're in the inner wall?
I don't understand the geography of this place. I really don't.
Yeah, so join us in the next part of our Attack on Titan LP.
Attack on Titan. No, this game doesn't have the creepy giant faces. So
Or the main character yelling all his lines.
anyway, see you, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.